lot of factors at play, which can kind of put into my mind whether I think I am in a good position to start a bulking phase, to end one, to start a dieting phase, to switch, whatever else. And for the most part, you can look at it pretty objectively. But I think one thing I kind of forgot to take into account was weather and temperature circumstance. Because it is much more fun to get into a hot car when you're dieting down. Because you're not so prone to just fucking sweatiness and overheating. I swear I need a fucking I need a goddamn Intel 8-core CPU cooler on my back at all times with 3 massive ass fans. But that's not particularly practical. All that to say, I'm ready for it to cool down. I'm ready for a day to be mid 60s outside. Mid 60s, that'll be nice. But when I'm dieting down, I'll probably be a little bit more reminiscent of when it's nice and sunny and fucking hot out. So, kind of a give and take. But plan for arms, as per usual. Push downs of a few varieties, be it rope, straight bar, single arm D handle, potentially some skull crushers, potentially not. Definitely some machine dips. Then biceps is just a variety of curls. I really like the set of cable curls that I did yesterday, or the last arm day, where it was sort of a inclined bench set up with 2 kind of cables around my feet or so I could do real full kind of stretch, whatever. And honestly, the fucking rate of fatigue that I was getting my biceps from those sets compared to like just a regular straight set of dumbbell, very different. Very fucking different. You know, not to say it's a million times better than a regular dumbbell curl or anything, but if your arm days are getting a little bit stale, biceps is the movement where you can really you can change it up pretty fucking drastically. Like, there's only so many different angles that you can hit your bicep at, right? Fucking regular dumbbell curl, spider curl bent over, do a freaking double bicep wide cable curl kind of flexing sort of. There's a million, but they all do kind of have a little bit of a different feeling. So get creative, as long as you're doing something where your arm is going from here to here with load and you're actually getting a squeeze kind of fatiguing burning effect. Take that to failure, do a few, see how you like it, pose down and say to yourself, wow, looks like I should be doing some single arm concentration curls with assisted reps at the end. So I think let's just get straight into it. Save some deep intellectual whatever else. Honestly, it's probably just going to be me saying like, holy fuck, that was a good arm day. But we'll save that for the drive back. So let's just get started. I was getting ready to change it up, and in doing so, revert to my old tricep approaches. Start with something kind of really heavy, just like straight bar, regular kind of cambered bar with a bunch of weight. But doing the warm-up, rope will be all right. I kind of had to fucking get myself amped today. I don't know what's wrong with me. Today and yesterday, when I I don't even know what you'd call it. Kind of just like obviously it's going to work out. That's not a question. But it's like something about the level of kind of just like excitedness. I don't know. But getting aerials by, let me actually do a real plug. Yeah, System of a Down. That's getting me going. So let's go fucking crazy here. And even though it's lightweight, I want to make the squeeze as excruciating as possible. Oh my God. Whew. One more, minimum. Oh. And I can't say enough, but I mean, I guess if you do it, then you'll kind of get the gist. But man, I've been missing out definitely on tricep range of motion, which I think is going to translate to fucking tricep gains. So with these especially, honestly, the rope is probably where I go the deepest, because I'm trying to, like, on the way up, I want to feel every fucking fiber down my kind of long head to under my armpit where it ties in, get totally stretched, then squeeze. Ugh. 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 Oh my God. It's, one more. Oh my God. All right. Let's get some dips started, I think. Machine. This will be a heavy one. There we go. Yeah. Oh. Let's make a drop set. Oh my gosh, okay. You know, I used to have to fucking like grab onto the machine to pull the full stack down because I didn't weigh enough to actually move it. Making progress, gotta do that. Yeah. Okay. One more. Dude. The way that I'm doing these dips and the way that these dips are feeling now compared to like even 6 months ago, this is an insane fucking change. Same style as the last one with the 230. So when I say that These reps feel different than just kind of forcing them out. I don't just mean that in some random kind of fucking way, right? You got to remember, my fucking main objective, stimulate whatever muscle I'm hitting on that day as hard as I can on repeat, as good as I can, right? With enough intensity and effectiveness where when I go home and eat all this fucking food, I actually grow. It's somebody just called down at the front desk. But that's my priority, right? So I want to make these workouts optimized over fucking time. And unfortunately, I kind of have to fight against old habits a little bit, because it's like, if you work out for 2 years doing a certain training style and you get gains that way, I mean, you just got proof in yourself that that works. So sometimes it's a little hard to break away from that. But all I mean now is with these reps, each one feels so much fucking, well, like the density of the workload is just fucking increased. You know, instead of like, okay, easy rep, easy rep, easy rep, easy rep. Okay, they're getting harder, they're getting harder, they're getting harder, which I do think is a fine set. I mean, I do some straight nasty ones still, but contrasting those with these ones where full fucking stretch, and then I feel like I'm ripping my tricep off the bone with how hard I'm squeezing at the bottom, then back down. I mean, it just adds to the variability of the training. And if you bring intensity with that variability, guess what? Gains galore, as long as you can eat enough to support it. But let's get this one more going. Then probably finish with something. This could be it. We'll see. Okay. All right. I wasn't sure what I wanted to finish with, but I think I've got a little bit of a start here. So, light-ish weight, 30 pounds on either side. Kind of cross over like I'm fucking holding two swords. Slash somebody in the fucking quarters. But I'm not sure this will be it. So, I don't mind waiting until finishing this first portion of the set to make the decision whether or not I want to add a drop set or like a superset to the end of it. And as the last set of the movement, I don't have to leave anything in the tank. So if I feel like I can get a little more oomph if I throw the straight bar on one of these cables and pump out some reps with the stack, that's what I'll do. But let's get the first portion of the set done and then decide. There we go. Okay, yeah. Let's make it a drop set. All right. Oh yeah, perfect. Yeah. 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 Oh. Oh my God. Okay. Oh. Yeah, 7 sets for triceps. Those were enough. Let's go curl something, goddammit. So, I'm gonna copy triceps a little bit in the sense of using a weight which I can only do, or no, not which I can only do, which I can move around reasonably easily. Like the 60s, I can manhandle these in a fucking nasty kind of way. Now I don't think that's gonna give me the results that I want. So I'm gonna take this reasonable weight and try to make it unreasonable for myself by way of slower reps. I mean, with curls, even when I go pretty heavy, you're not catching me do a massive swing, but you know, I want to keep my shoulders pretty still. A little bit of an extra hold on top, you know, maybe not a full second, but a good moment. And then slow eccentric. That's my plan here. And I almost did the 50s, but I thought that might be a little bit too light because there's something that is, I mean, it's kind of a funny problem to have, but if you get strong enough, there's actually, I feel like, a limit to the lightness of the weight that you can do. Because if you go any lighter, I mean, I feel like you're going to burn out physically more than, or no, mentally in a way, more than physically. Because if I'm curling the 20s, I don't know how many I could do physically, but my biceps would just be burning before I reach that point. And I'd quit because I'm like, I can't fucking take this shit anymore. So I think there is a sweet spot of weight, but let's stop talking about it and actually make it happen. And then straps will help my forearms stay out of the equation. Ugh. Fuck it. Oh my God. Let's go crazy on some full stack easy bar cable curls. Okay. One more straight set like that. All right. Let's wait a few seconds. Make it a rest pause. Because I don't think I could have got one more. But if I take 15 seconds, I got 3 more easy. Okay. Let's move on. All right, I don't do these all the time. Probably, unfortunately so, I should. Usually with dumbbell, but this will make it easier enough, or easy enough. Curls against the wall. Just stops you from swinging. Different way to go about it.
Stay balanced.
Okay. I think a few more here, and that'll be the end of it. Okay. Oh, goodness. I think that's enough. Oh. Straight bar. A little hard on the wrists. I would have preferred a easy curl bar, but I think that's about it. Let's do some fucking flexes and roll. All right. Let's flex and flee. I don't want to hold anybody up. Come on. Oh, goodness. Nope, no curl machines today, just cables and dumbbells, which I don't really have a problem with. We're thinking about doing a home gym, like a real one, but you don't need much. Cables, like a big cable stack with for flies, pull downs, rows, dumbbells, benches, squat rack, leg extension, leg curl. You build a pretty fucking sick physique with all that. But that's for later. That's fucking way far in the future from now. So let's camp out. Oh, I feel pretty fucking wide. Oh shit. Oh jeez. So that's tricky. I need to, on all my double bi in the back, I want my fucking arms to be the same height as well as at the same angle. So let's see. Yeah, something like that. Oh, damn, even just holding it up there is fucking burning up. But it's past close. Arms are pumped to hell. Let's get in the car. All right. Arms are wrecked. Triceps especially so. Not to say that I went easy on biceps or anything, but I need bigger fucking triceps. For me, the let's just say the demand for tricep gains compared to bicep gains, right up fucking here. Now, the supply is typically the opposite. I see much easier bicep gains than tricep gains. So, all that is to say, my triceps are a little bit of a weaker point on my arm, and I want them to grow with a faster pace than I need my biceps to. But little question for you, the viewer. If I were to trim these videos down a touch, because let's be real, you know, apart from like maybe the full day of eatings and like some specials and stuff, an hour a day, this is getting a little fucking crazy, you know. So if I were to trim these down to the lifting portion and a talking portion, do you want to see the talking portion first or the talking portion after the lift? Or just a combination of the two, you know, make it a little bit easier to keep up with some of these. But yeah, just something for thought if you guys have any kind of tips, or not tips, but any kind of critiques there, you know, because once I edit these videos, I don't watch them. I post them and that's the end of it, right? So that's where your opinion matters much more than my own. What was I about to say? It was on the tip of my tongue and now I forget. Yeah, I don't remember. Damn. Come on, man. You're making me forget this shit. Oh, yeah, no, here's something. Where the hell did the dextrose shake go? Dude, Sam, you were a die-hard dextrose shake fan. What happened? You know, I'll tell you what happened. You got stressing out my fucking insides. And not in like an organ kind of way. I mean more like a digestion kind of insulin sensitivity, kind of probably gut biome kind of way, you know, because the logic was in my mind, okay, post-workout, I want an insane amount of simple sugar. I want it to be digested very quickly, and I want to drink it as soon as possible. So that meant, okay, 100 grams of fucking dextrose. So may as well have been 100 grams of like just 1 or 2 steps away from simple table sugar in a shaker cup with like 2 scoops of protein powder. And that was to be slammed immediately after the lift. Oh my goodness. I think that was, yeah, it may have been a little too much. Now the logic I think is sound, but I think taking it that far is a bit excessive. So what I mean by that is 100 grams of fucking, you know, simple sugars immediately post-lift. Dude, depending on if you're bulking up or cutting down, I mean, that could be half your carb intake right there. So I think that was a bit much. Now, 20 grams, something more like 20, 25, maybe upward of getting close to 50. But anything above 50 of the sugar all at once gets a little finicky. You know. So it might make its return if I start to realize that my food intake is beginning to plateau. But I think I kind of put the cart before the horse, trying to optimize a special case of calorie intake rather than making sure everything else was in place first. I'm seeing better gains just by eating more evenly sized, larger meals throughout the day than I was trying to like slam those fucking shakes after the workout and then like, you know, trying to get another meal in directly after that. But let's say, because right now I've been doing about 5-ish meals per day or so, and then it averages out to about, I think, 1,000 or so calories per lift, or what am I saying, per meal. So if I get to a point where I can't really raise the size of those much more, like I'm like, dude, I can't fucking eat, that's where I might think, okay, let's start adding more liquid calories, things that I can drink very quickly and get down so that I can hit my calorie intake. But as long as you're gaining weight, I don't think there's a replacement. You know, I don't like I've got protein powder in the cupboard, and anytime like if I'm gonna rush, I'll make a shake, but I just don't feel like it's gonna beat regular fucking food. Now that does not mean I'm dogging on the protein powder. Of course, it does have its place, but you know, maybe I'm just kind of in a habit of fucking eating everything. I mean, I've gone through times where I was trying to make cereal shakes where it'd be like, you know, half a box of like Special K, 2 scoops of protein, I don't know how many cups of milk, enough for that to be blended together, and like that was like a shake. But I mean, I'm just having better results with just large fucking meals, you know, and not and easing back on the fucking trash side of things. You know, I'd say I'm rocking about a 70, maybe a 65-35 percentage ratio of regular solid, just like bodybuilder style foods, which honestly, I feel like the word body, like thinking of bodybuilder style meals, it's really just a fancy, cool way of saying simple ass fucking meals, right? Like the less ingredients and the less fucking, you know, mixing and everything else that has to be done to them, honestly, the better, right? I mean, I've been having a solid time with just like 100 grams of carbs worth of potatoes next to 50 grams of protein worth of ground beef, or 50 grams of protein of eggs, which ends up being like, I've been doing a lot of just whole eggs, but I do like mixing whole eggs with just cartoned egg whites, because then you don't have to throw out wasted yolks if you just want the whites. Like that with oatmeal, cream of wheat, just minute rice with like some Tabasco thrown on and maybe a little bit of butter to kind of keep it moist. Like those meals are going down so easy, and they're not stressing out my system as much. So it's not even a question of like arbitrary, like, okay, which meal is gonna have the better amount of calories, whatever. Like, look, if you're not eating enough calories, you're obviously not gonna grow. That cannot be understated. But the type of calories and foods that you're eating are going to have a long-term effect and a short-term effect on just how much food you can fucking eat. Like I've had some nasty fucking well, not nasty, but I've had some pretty fucking sugary kind of meals for long periods of time, and the bulks that I was doing them like that, I'd gain weight pretty quick, but then I'd plateau because I couldn't push it anymore, you know. So it's hard to beat. So if you're kind of curious, like, what should I be eating if I want to start, you know, start building muscle, if I want to start taking my training seriously, like, dude, you can't beat the cliches. You know, get some chicken and rice, eat your fucking eggs in the morning with maybe with a reasonable amount of bacon, you know, have some steak, have some fucking potatoes, right? Have a hamburger, whatever. But yeah, that's sort of my thought process. Thought process there. So morning weight 268. So I'm still kind of bouncing around. That day was so now it's 271. That must have just been an extra carved up, probably holding on to some extra kind of water kind of morning. Because don't forget, in a bulking phase or in a dieting phase, you're gonna have day by day fluctuations. I say this a lot, but if you haven't heard me say it before, I think it's worth mentioning. If you step on a scale every fucking day in the morning at the same time, like you haven't had breakfast yet, you haven't drank any water yet, you went to the bathroom, that's the most consistent time you can weigh yourself on the regular and see changes to your fucking build. But day by day, if you graph it, it looks like this, man. It's fucking going all over the place. It's all about the kind of average trend, you know? So don't freak if one day you're 3 pounds heavier and then the next day you're fucking 2 pounds lighter. You know, look at it week by week. But plan for tonight, go home, get some food in my system, and then repeat and make sure I get a freaking good night's rest, because I've got legs tomorrow, which I may make a little bit of a lighter day, because I can tell my left knee is a little bit tender. You know what I think it was from? Like way back when I was in I say way back, it was really only like, I don't even think a whole month, like maybe three weeks ago or something. But we went to Michigan, and there was this little pier at the place we were at, so we were jumping off it, and I feel like when I did that jump or something, that was like a quick impulse of force, which I'm not usually used to. Like, I'm used to 1,000,000 fucking pounds through my knees, but in a very slow, controlled manner, you know, like a squat or something. So really fucking joke's on me. Shouldn't have done anything athletic without having a proper warm-up first. But so where my left knee, all the tendons and everything else kind of ties into my shin, right there, that little point, kind of like Osgood Slaughter's kind of style, that's a little tender. So tomorrow's leg day may be a little bit squeezing, kind of stretch focused with some leg extension bias, because leg extensions doesn't bother it for whatever reason. It's only when I go in like a deep press So maybe I'll do an alternating approach, which I've kind of said before, and I do like it, where one leg day there's heavy pressing involved with a reasonable amount of volume, and then the next leg day is a little bit more hamstring focused, more heavy RDLs, and then quads consists more of some squeezing stuff with the leg extension. Maybe try to do some nasty kind of like drop sets or supersets or whatever. Throw some sissy squats in there, but that's a tomorrow situation. No need to sweat over it now. So post-workout meal, I've got no idea. I'll find out. I know it's going to consist of at least 120 grams of carbs, 30 grams of fats, and 50 grams of protein, but the source exactly, not totally sure. I've kind of been on just a ground beef kick instead of steaks, because I keep messing up my steaks. I'm used to a gas stove. Like, that's how I've got a good kind of control over the skillet. But with the electric stove, man, it's like I'm always either overcooking them or undercooking them. So I gotta get the sous vide out. So fucking consistent. I mean, once you know the steps, there's really no way to mess it up. But then it's just a couple extra steps in the process. But that's all I got. So I'll see you then.